Chase on.
Huh. And here I thought Chelsea were the only team to miss open chances. But I guess I was wrong. You know, I can understand how Man City fans must feel right now, considering this is probably their biggest chance of winning the Champions League, but I guess it's the result of times changing. The fact that the final 4 UCL teams left are from France and Germany, combined with the rather disappointing performances from English teams this season, it's only a matter of time before the Premier League is known as the next Farmers League of the world. But I guess English teams can just buy the best players from the Bundesliga and League One. I mean, why do you think Chelsea fans are always slamming Anons Havertz on social media? Just give it one more week, Chelsea fans. Kai Havertz is coming home. But without waffling for too long, what is up, football fans of the internet? I'm your local blue here, giving my reaction to the best and worst, but probably more the worst, of what this Champions League week had to offer. Not only were these games very exciting to watch as a viewer, but there's also a lot of important things that you can take out of each match respectively. Now for this video, I'm not going to be going into too much depth about what exactly happened in each game, because I already feel like there's already been many videos published before this one talking about, you know, what players stood out and what exactly happened that led to a certain team's defeat or something. But what I'm doing today is showing the consequences of what each game had on each team, whether it be a team like Bayern who dominated the whole entire game, or whether it be Man City who severely underperformed in their game against Lyon. Things like that. And yes, while Leipzig and PSG won their games in a nail-biting thriller, I feel like the other 2 quarterfinal games are showing bigger themes that we are seeing in football today, especially with the 2 clubs that I'm going to be talking about, which will mainly be focused on Barcelona and Man City. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. The first game I'm going to be talking about is Barca v Bayern, because oh my gosh, how did Barca lose that badly? Like many people who watched the game, I was very stunned by what I saw, but mostly because of different reasons. To be honest, I was one of those people who knew that Barca were going to lose to Bayern. I just didn't know how much, and by how much of an extreme margin it would end up turning out to be. But what people have seen from a team like Barca, and even another team like Real Madrid to put into the mix, teams like those who had once rested on the highest pedestal are slowly falling down in terms of ranking in the football world. Now, from someone who has watched the Barcelona team play from a young age, like looking at the 2010 to 2011 Barca team, that team was by far one of the best teams that had ever existed at the time. But what I saw from that Barca team made me realize for the first time in a long time, actually, that there's some big problems going on in Barcelona's team right now, which could impact on what exactly Barca will be like in the next few years or so. When I look at the Barca from then compared to the Barca now, like, there is no correlation that I can find other than both having Messi and both being called Barca. But before we talk about Barcelona's issues, big props needs to be given to the whole entire Bayern Munich team. I think they were fantastic that day because they completely dominated the game offensively and defensively, and it didn't really seem like Barcelona had much of a chance at all that game. Players that you would expect to show up in big games like Messi and Suarez were completely gone from this game. Not only were they overshadowed by Bayern's dominance in general, but other players like Lewandowski and Gnabry and Alphonso Davies, they were just the better players in that game overall. Now, while people might try to say, oh, Messi's not the player that he once was, I think there's a big underlying issue at Barca, which is just a lot more deeper than what it seems to be. But the main executives at Barcelona, which I will refer to as quote-unquote the board, they haven't been doing a great job in getting players that they need for their squad to develop for the future, but they've been also loaning or selling the wrong players. You see someone like Arthur, who I thought was doing pretty well at Barcelona, suddenly get transferred to Juventus for a swap deal with Pjanic. Which in my case, I was like, what? Why? Why Barcelona? Why are you giving away such a talented young player who can end up developing and growing under your care to become one of the best players ever? Not only that, but the board also gave away Coutinho, and he ended up scoring 2 goals and he made an assist against Barcelona, so definitely another mistake that Barcelona want to forget as soon as possible. And in the case of Messi, who's been frustrated with this board for so long, it looks like Messi might even want to leave Barcelona, the club that has nurtured him for so long, because the board is frustrating him so much. So what else can you take away from this disappointing Barcelona defeat, despite, being that Barcelona weren't always the favorites to go and win this competition? It's gotten to the point with Barcelona where not only have they been underwhelming for the past few years, but it also looks like they might have to revamp their entire team with new players and dishing out all the old players that are still at the club. Now focusing our attention to the other game, Man City versus Lyon, talk about not taking your chances in the big games. There were so many times that Man City could have easily scored that this loss was just a result of them not being able to do so. Sterling's miss combined with players made out of stone playing in defense. And it's not even like Lyon had big chances in this game at all. They only had a few, but the thing was that every time they did have a chance, they ended up scoring because that's how much Man City's defense faltered. Now, when you look at this Man City squad, you see that the club has poured millions into getting the best players possible. So when you consider what Man City have done over the past few years, spending close to over $1 billion on players alone, it's another underachieving year for Man City, especially considering that they could have won the Champions League too this year. But with that said, guys, that is going to end my video for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to your local blue, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.